Everybody needs shelter. It's a part of the mantra, right? Food, water, energy security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. You got to have a roof over your head. But there are more and more homeless because the markets don't give a crap about the homeless. Because real estate, houses are not about shelter anymore. They're about investors. And they're about investors making money. So they've taken this physical asset and they've converted it into an intangible. And I might just remind you that one of the goals, as stated in the IMF, is to have the title for everything on a token and then broken down into itty-bitty pieces so you're inspired to buy that blouse or that jacket. Well, hey, you got your equity on your phone. It's just a little bit. It's not going to matter. But then ultimately what ends up happening is you end up spending any of the equity that you have in your house or anything else. And that's why the World Economic Forum says you will own nothing and you will be happy. I don't think you'll be happy, but you may end up owning nothing. I believe there is a huge difference between housing as a commodity, because that's the way it's treated, as a commodity, and gold as a commodity. Gold is not a human right. Housing is. But what gold will do is it'll make sure you can maintain your housing and your real estate and your wealth and your purchasing power. And how the financialization of housing is physically changing cities, because the increasing investment value of real estate has led to tangible changes in the way that buildings are designed and function, with a lot of them just being about making money, not for somebody to live in. Does that really make sense to you? With all the people that we have, unfortunately, homeless, and I think that problem is going to get a whole lot worse. A whole lot worse. But everything has been turned into a financial product and then sold to you. And what they're really selling you, what you're really paying for, is the risk. They get all the profits, they get ongoing fees, and you get the risk of student loans, auto loans, consumer loans, revolving credit, so credit card loans. So who's benefited the most from all this financialization? Well, corporates. And the Fed is between, all central bankers are between a rock and a hard place, because inflation is also rearing its ugly head. Shocker. Actually, if they can keep it at 2%, not like it hasn't been happening, but if they can keep it low enough that you don't notice, you don't scream about it, well, people are starting to scream. And frankly, when people are hungry and hopeless, they make different choices. But back to the markets and why there's so much volatility. And can you please tell me, with all the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions that has been created just since 2008, why are we having liquidity issues? Which we are. That's what this is all about, liquidity. There's not enough collateral. Several gauges are showing deterioration. Yeah. And challenges could rise when the Fed starts shrinking its bond portfolio. In other words, selling the bonds. Or not even selling them. Just not buying new ones when the ones that they have now mature. You've got apparent weakness and real weakness, not just apparent, but real weakness in this financialized system. And the treasuries, keep in mind, is the foundation of this entire global market system. That's why you gotta have this. That's why you have to. You really, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but anything other than gold and silver physical is just not going to help you the way you think that it is. We can see that the patient is already weak. Now, what's happening with Russia and the potential default, because we know we are all incestuously interconnected, could indeed give the death knell. And all of this financialization, where all of these contracts are traded all around the world, that's what enables all of the contagion to go through the entire system. It's done. So if you're not ready, I'm going to strongly encourage you to get ready, because things are about to get a whole lot worse. And when that happens, you want to be in the most liquid, most safe position that you can be. My bank account isn't paying me interest, but that's all risk. This doesn't have to pay me interest. I'm happy to hold it because this is my safety, and it's your safety too. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. It's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because the world's wealthy, they're running to the safety of gold. And dynastic wealth, proven wealth that lasts at least 300 years, 3 legs: real estate, rare collectibles, and gold. And arguably, well, you could do all 3 with gold, because you can own a gold mine and you can own a gold rare antique as well as the coins. But also, this is what enables you to accumulate the other 2. And that's really where we need to be right now. Food, water, energy security, barterability, which is silver for me, wealth preservation and growth, which is gold to me, community, which is probably and arguably the most important part of this, and shelter. Inflation genie is out of the bottle, and more people are losing confidence. That's why they can't. Once it's out of the bottle, it cannot go back in again. This is an indication by every count of the end of this currency experiment. It's at the end. We got to transition. We have to reset the entire global economy, socially, well, according to the World Economic Forum anyway, socially, economically, and financially. And that's why you need food, water, energy security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. These are all the things that you need to be as independent and self-sufficient as possible as we continue through this. Because quite honestly, what choices do they have? We're already anchored at 0.